So Mega Evolution was kind of like how Digimon did it, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Similar. You gave them a stone, and then if you hit, they Mega Evolved, and they stayed that way just for the fight.
Okay, so it's like a Viagra for Pokemon.
Yeah, pretty much.
Welcome to the Nerd News Podcast, starring Tyson Cox and Tyler Waltz.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Nerd News.
Welcome.
If you haven't seen us yet, we are a nerd comedy-based podcast, and I am your host, Tyler Waltz, and with me, as always,
He's Tyson Cox.
yeah, and we're here to talk about a bunch of stuff. There's kind of a tidal wave of nerd stuff over the weekend.
Always.
So I think we should start off with the new Pokemon game. I think that was one of the bigger things because Nintendo had their Direct, which had a ton of stuff in it.
A huge amount of things. I'm not gonna lie, I was not on board until I watched the trailer 4 minutes ago.
So the funny thing about this trailer is when Sword and Shield came out, so many people were upset.
Yeah.
People were pointing out like graphics, like, oh my gosh, that tree is just like a 2D, blah, blah, blah. And they were just like, they were crapping on everything.
Okay.
It was also the first Switch Pokemon game.
Okay.
So we were going from handheld DS to still technically a handheld, but a home console.
Yes.
And it was very little improvement.
Okay.
If you think about it, like they didn't have all the Pokemon. They were like, hey, it's only a limited dex. They added more later with DLC. There was a lot that people were upset about.
Okay.
I haven't seen near as much pushback for Scarlet and Violet.
Okay. Is it because your Pokemon's a motorcycle?
Maybe. I think it's because they're like dotting all their I's and crossing all their T's with what people want to see. And now people are wanting to get it to see what else there is.
Okay. I mean, yeah, it makes sense. It looks good.
I think it looks really good too. They hybridized the combat,
which is interesting.
I don't know how that's going to work because Arceus, did you play Legends of Arceus?
No.
I played a little bit. I didn't buy it. I just played, a friend of mine had it. So I just kind of, messed around on theirs. But it was real time, but turn based. So your character could run around freely around the battlefield and could actually get hit and like take damage.
What's your hit points as a human? Do you level that up?
I didn't really play enough to figure out how that works. Oh my god!
It would make sense if you get hit with like Gyarados' like laser beam. Yeah, like it's just some burnt shoes.
Right. It just fades to black, and then you're in the character creator.
Oh, you're awake.
So you could run around freely, and then you commanded your Pokemon to do like tackle or tail whip or whatever, and then a speed gauge. I can't remember if there was a physical one or if it was invisible, but like. Your Pokemon moved based on its speed, which in the base games, it's if you have a higher speed, you go first, period. Yes. But it was like a meter that filled up. So if you were technically fast enough, you could go twice before the enemy could go once.
Okay.
If you were fighting like Onix versus like Pikachu. The speed difference is astronomical.
Yeah.
And then that's made up by, defense and attack and other stuff like
that.
I'm just sorry. I'm excited.
I know. People are going to be listening to this while driving and fall asleep and die. And we're going to get sued.
And we need the viewers.
Golly, we do. What was the point of that, Tyler? What was your point?
The point is that if that's the mechanic that they're going for, that's fine. But later in the trailer, it's a traditional turn-based match.
Yeah, okay.
So how is that going to work? Is it just going to be two different mechanics that live simultaneously or what? Like I'm curious how that's going to play out.
How would you do it?
I think I would have the old system because they introduced the wild area in Sword and Shield where it was just this big area where Pokemon spawned, could run around in, and they were just out there.
Okay.
That is where I would have the Arceus combat.
Okay.
And anytime you're in a town or a dedicated zone, it's the old school style.
Okay, so like structure in like traditional battles.
Yeah,
that
because
makes sense.
The gyms and everything are supposed to be the official stuff.
Yeah.
The wild area is
just out there just murking Rattatas.
Yeah, exactly.
You just gotta, this is my Pokemon Glock 40.
But the thing is like if they did that, it gives them a reason to keep stuff around for competitive play. so they could still have competitive and the old school bringing in the new competitive scene,
Yeah.
but keep a lot of the new mechanics that people liked from Arceus and the newer stuff that Pokemon's trying to bring in.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I liked
I'm very excited.
It looked good. I'm gonna end up getting it and then never having time to play it.
Oh, I know. I was skeptical about Sword and Shield. Didn't really care for it.
I'm gonna do what I normally do: is I'm gonna buy the game, and then I'm going to pull up a step-by-step walkthrough
And just go.
and just go.
Yep.
And at some point, whenever I find a good place to really just farm, I'm just gonna level my guy up real high
Right, and then just beat the rest of the game.
and just murk people.
Yeah.
Just steamroll them.
I will.
And I'm gonna feel so much better than you.
Probably not.
You're not gonna beat me like level 30, and I'm like, I'm 99.
Yeah. I go pretty hard in the paint when it
Okay.
comes to Pokemon.
All right.
I get too much. I used to do competitive.
I could tell
hate
by
it.
that long-winded explanation
Yeah.
of combat.
Yeah, it's exciting. I'm very excited. The new Pokemon look great. I know that a lot of them in the trailer have names already.
Yeah.
I can't remember them off the top of my head right now.
I just hope they're more animalistic than before. Because before it was like cockies, ice cream cone,
Yeah.
writing.
Well, the new one is a bicycle. So,
But it's got like lizard body.
yeah, which
And
looks
one
neat.
bicycle can swim and one can fly.
It's either that or they're gonna do what they did in Sun and Moon, where your bike actually got like new things. Like it started out with a bike, and then
okay.
after a certain gym, you got an attachment that let you like boost up hills.
Okay.
And then there was one that turned the wheels into floaties, so you could go across water. I'm assuming that's how it's gonna be.
Okay. All right. That makes sense. How do you feel about the Miss Marvel powers?
I don't like any of the new. Basically, since Mega Evolutions, they've all been bad.
Yeah.
Like I didn't like Z moves. I don't even know if you knew what that was.
Nope.
It was the.
Wait, it's a German guy saying the moves.
Yeah.
I didn't like the moves.
The moves.
They were all new moves were very bad.
So in Sun and Moon, which were the ones that took place in like the Hawaii setting,
Okay.
you got a Z move. You gave this little bitty crystal, I think it was meth.
No. Pokemeth.
Yes.
Yeah.
To a Pokemon, and then that allowed them to just pick one move that gets boosted to 1 billion.
Okay.
Like it took like Thunderbolt and made it like a 400 attack move, but you only got one. So you could do that with one Pokemon, and you could Mega Evolve one Pokemon, and that was the competitive scene for a while.
All right.
So they had the Z moves, and then they went back to Mega Evolutions, which have always been my favorite. Loved them. And then Sword and Shield had the Gigantamax.
So Mega Evolution was kind of like how Digimon did it, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Similar. You gave them a stone, and then if you hit, they Mega Evolved,
Yeah.
and they stayed that way just for the fight.
Okay, so it's like a Viagra for Pokemon.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah,
But the Mega Evolutions made sense. Like,
Yeah.
it's the only one in the Pokemon universe that canonically could make sense.
Okay, and then what was the next one?
The Z moves, and then it was the Gigantamax, which
Yeah, what
was
is that?
Sword and They just get real big. They
Oh.
become like Kaiju, which I liked that aspect
All right,
of
that's
it.
cool.
But it only lasted for 3 turns.
Okay.
So it was like, it's fine.
Yeah.
But it's just, I don't know. It very lackluster.
I do remember when Pokemon was just we gave you more Pokemon.
Yeah, you just beat the shit out of kids.
Yeah.
Like that's
Which I
all
do
it
like
was.
that the bad guys appear to be 16-year-old kids with bicycles.
Yeah.
So I can
Yeah.
finally have my revenge.
Yeah, no, I've always hated cyclists, so it's going to be really good.
Yeah, you look like you hate cardio.
Yes, yeah. It's mostly just I'm trying to drive, like, buy a car.
Oh.
Just, it's ridiculous. Well, it's like there's a bicycle lane. Use it, right? Nothing infuriates me more than a bicyclist in the road next to a bicycle lane. That should be legal manslaughter. Because, like, I'm late.
Yeah, my problem is now everyone's problem.
Yeah, I've got places to be.
Scooch over, we make the news.
Yeah, but not in a good way.
Yeah, no.
But no, I'm excited. The new one is like crystallid, like it crystallizes them.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's called yet, but it's another gimmick to me.
Yeah,
It's probably going to be one of those things because the only thing I care about is the competitive scene.
sure.
It's probably going to get banned from competitive. Just
The crystal?
Yeah,
That makes sense.
everything has been banned from competitive except for Mega Evolutions, and they haven't had Mega Evolutions for a minute.
Okay.
So, I mean, they're going to do another thing to try and get kids to play when we all know it's us nearly 30-year-olds that play competitive that need to be their market.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Call of Duty's for them.
Yeah. Right. Call of Duty is for kids.
Pokemon's for adults.
Yeah. Yeah. Figure it out.
So speaking of the competitive scene, Magic the Gathering, which has a competitive scene. That's my transition.
Yep.
But they're getting a crossover with Warhammer 40K.
Okay.
Which
2 games I know nothing about.
I am interested in it because all the creatures in Warhammer 40K are like
Really cool.
they're very cool, but they're also extremely powerful.
Yeah, they go ham.
They go hard.
Yeah.
I didn't see any war boys. Which
Okay.
I like the orcs.
Cool.
They have my favorite little trait is they're all very dumb,
Okay.
but they have magic
Mm-hmm.
because if enough orcs believe something is true,
All right.
it's
It
true.
happens.
Yeah.
That's pretty great.
They will build the ricketiest spaceships and go, I think it can fly. And then it's like, you think it can fly? And he's like, I think it could fly. And then it goes, and it starts to take off like it can fly.
That's what's stopping them from taking over the planet with
They're
imagination.
dumb. That's the thing is they're so dumb. They are so dumb
That's
that
great.
they don't know why their stuff works.
So, from a very outside looking in,
Yeah.
the only thing I know about Warhammer is there's like the human mech style dudes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I don't know. if
Space
those-
Marines
Yes,
is
there's
the-
the
yeah.
Space Marines. There's the weird. I don't want to say weird. It's like the Egyptian style mummy summoning.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of different types of squads that you have with your armies. So there's
Okay.
like humans, and there's even like different variants of humans. There's Tyranids, which are like the Zerg from StarCraft.
Okay.
Then there's mummies, there's dark elves, there's orcs, and I'm still missing some.
Oh, okay. I thought there was 4. That was my knowledge. I thought there was 4.
There's I think a few more.
I thought there was like a bug kind of people.
That's the
s-
Necrid.
Space
Or no,
Marines,
that's the Space Marines,
orcs.
Necron, which are like undead robots.
Yeah.
Orcs, Eldar. I think it's like they're high elves.
Mm-hmm.
The bug people. There's like 5 or 6.
Okay, I got you.
But then there's fantasy, which I like the Skaven a lot. So there's like the Skaven, which are rat people, lizard people, human. Like it was like da 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 da, like depending what god. And then that moved on to 40K. So there's like plague marines, like all this other stuff. So they have all this huge amount of lore, which is very exciting. But it looked like they had 3 commander decks come out. One all black, which I think is very interesting because commander is you're supposed to get your commander, get a couple of colors, really power them up, synergize each other. But straight black is like, nah, homie, we doing the dirty shit.
Okay. I don't know anything about magic, which actually we're thinking about doing a thing of teaching me magic.
Yeah.
So that's going to be fun. Stay tuned for that.
Yeah, we're gonna do it, and you'll watch me want to die, and you'll want to pull your hair out.
Yeah, because I'm going to beat Tyson,
He wants to play white blue, and I hate him so much for it.
which is why I want to play it.
Yeah, I was describing. Here's the thing: is I was telling him like, oh, green is about creatures and mana, and then red is about direct damage, and black is about stealing their life. White is about healing your life, and blue is preventing the other opponent from playing. And he goes, I want that one.
Yeah, I want to
do that one.
I want to do that one real bad.
I want to. It's the one that makes Tyson really mad. Yeah, he's got our buddy Brian making us a deck. You remember Brian from our previous episode?
Previous episode. I was thinking my gut was telling me blue and white or blue and red.
Yeah, those are. I mean, they all work together.
Yeah.
So my question is, how do you feel about big properties coming together like that?
It can be good and bad. If it's an acquisition type of thing, like,
Nope, just a crossover.
I know.
Okay.
But if it's an acquisition, I'm always more weary because I think the acquiring company is always less likely to do it well than the original company. The fact that this is just a crossover, there's going to be a lot of weird thing. Like, what's a good example? Like Kingdom Hearts, right? That was like Square Enix and Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Crossing over with Disney. Turned out to be amazing because one wasn't becoming the other.
Correct.
Square Enix had to approve on how all their characters were being used. Disney had to approve on how all, and it can get bogged down, but I think it's better because they are making sure that their characters are represented how the company that still owns it wants them to be.
Yeah.
So I've got more faith in stuff like that. How about you?
As a Magic player, it feels weird to me. Like I'm sure some of the cards, like it's all the cards are all the cards. They're going to be in the same. Like they all have to get approved and whatnot, but the art feels weird because like Magic growing up was all like these dark, like even like the white cards were like dark and kind of like creepy.
Okay,
And
they've been getting away from
moving
that for a while.
Yeah, and now to see just a big Space Marine, I'm kind of like, it's ruining my immersion.
All right.
But also a bolt thrower would obliterate anything because it shoots like a Pepsi can, like a tall boy out of a gun.
All right.
Like 50 of them in a round. You know, it's like,
Just because the style of the game.
Yeah.
I got you.
And it would just obliterate any, like, you'd be, I'm Jace, the blue plains.
Nice. Okay. Well, I didn't think about it that way.
Yeah.
When we looked at the like trailer for some of the things,
Yeah.
I do have to say the Necro deck looked so cool. Like it looked so dope.
Yeah. But it's the commander. They didn't even show us cards. It was just
That's true.
black with good art, and Tyler's like, I'm in.
Yeah. Right. Yep. So
Yeah, I did. I was looking at the art for it because, like, I'm going to pick up a commander deck because the commander decks are usually pretty solid nowadays.
which is basically like a starter deck, right?
It's
it gets you your meat and potatoes.
certain gameplay style deck. So there's several ways you can go about building a deck. Commander, you just buy your 100 card deck or whatever, and then build it up from there. Then you can, or there's also 60 card decks, which are competitive-ish. And then you can just buy packs, research, do your own stuff, put them together. If you buy your cards individually, it all ends up coming out about the same.
Okay, and Commander is what's popular now.
Yes,
right?
because
like that's the competitive is a Commander deck.
It depends what you're playing, but like regular traditional Magic is a 60 card deck,
Okay.
and you can have 4 copies of any item in it. Where Commanders, you get 1 copy. But it's more fun in the fact that you get to play a bit more. It's a little bit more like what's going to happen because it's more random because there's 100 cards.
Yeah, it sounds better because if you can have 4 copies and 60 cards, what's stopping you from just getting 4 of the best of everything and then you just play 10 cards?
No, that's what it is. I don't know if I've said on this podcast, but I played a game and a guy shuffled. And this is the only time I ever won in Magic competitively. Shuffled, looked at his cards, mulligan, shuffled, looked at his cards, and goes, "All right, you win."
That's so terrible to me.
Yeah,
that just
because
sounds awful.
Yeah, it was not great. He didn't get his fetch card. He didn't get like there's such a strict meta for like 60 card Magic.
That's brutal.
Yeah, and it's not fun.
It doesn't sound fun.
It's not. And the thing is, people are playing for $30 worth of cards.
Yeah.
They're gonna buy anyways. You know what I mean? Like they don't. They're just so mean. Like that's their thing. Is like I think at least in the shop I was in. I'm not here to not all Magic players are shit, but some of them are real bad.
Yeah. I mean, once you get into competitive anything, people get past that threshold of fun, and that's who they are.
Yeah, but it was literally a Friday. I had like 80 cards. Like you could tell my deck was just gross.
Okay.
It was like Batman's Wang. It was too big.
Right.
And callback, and fan theory. But like, and then just the dude just being a real dink about it, just being like, well, you better just give up now. How about you just beat me like normal, dude?
Yeah.
Like I came to play Magic and meet people, not you. You can go away.
Yeah.
Oh, don't give me. All right, I'm gonna change topics. All right. Hey, Assassin's Creed had a new trailer coming out.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about this because specifically, I have not been interested in Assassin's Creed for a while. What was the last one you played?
Assassin's Creed.
The first one. Okay,
Yeah,
I got you.
I played some of it.
I
liked it a lot. I got about halfway through, but just like with anything, I get busy and I don't have time.
something else comes out or something else comes up.
Yeah.
I adored Assassin's Creed.
Very fun.
Yeah, up through Black Flag.
Okay.
I loved Black Flag. That was pirates.
Yes.
Incredible.
So I know a bit about all of them, but
After that, I believe was Unity, which was a hot dumpster fire. That was one of the original games that was like, we released the worst game and we'll make it playable soon.
Oh.
Like it was one of those. Like to the point where character models wouldn't load in. So it would just be floating eyes in a mouth.
I mean, get out of my fantasy, Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, right. But it was like so bad. And then they kind of came back, and I've heard that Odyssey and what was it? Odyssey, the Valhalla, and then the Egyptian one that might have been Odyssey. I don't know. It was Greece, Egypt.
Odyssey's probably Greece because
Yeah, that makes sense.
the Odyssey.
Yeah. Well, all right. We're not all encyclopedias over here. But the new one looks like it takes place in. I mean, it was very Aladdin-esque, right? That was to me what they were trying to go with, because you start off as a street beggar and stealing, and like it shows you trying to get away, and you're
Find
failing.
a genie.
Yeah, right.
And Robin
it's Will
Williams.
Smith. No.
Yeah.
Oh,
Whoa.
okay.
Showing our age.
No, that Will Smith one was garbage.
Never saw it.
You're lucky. It was bad. It was very bad.
Maybe I did see it, found a genie, and wished I had.
Yeah, right. Moving on. But it was very much like he gets caught stealing. He's trying to do some of the Assassin's Creed moves that we've all known, like grabbing onto the pillar and climbing up. Gets saved by the assassins. It shows the training. It was all very much.
Oh, you're talking about the trailer, right?
Yes, yeah. I'm talking about.
I thought you were talking about the Egyptian one. I was like, so that sounds like the trailer we just watched.
No. Okay. This is the new one. Like that was the vibe they were going for, and I liked it a lot. I haven't seen a trailer pull me in like that since I believe it was Brotherhood, which was the one right before Black Flag. Yeah. Like I was hooked because of the atmosphere of it. It seems like they're going way more old school, and I appreciate it.
I was talking to a buddy about Seamless. Shut up. I was talking to a buddy about it's spooky season coming up. Yeah. Hocus Pocus 2 is coming out.
Yes.
Watched the trailer. Mm-hmm. Kind of excited about it. Not gonna lie. Mm-hmm. I'm worried they're gonna try and do what a lot of other Disney properties have done, which is give the villains like a sympathetic backstory.
That is getting very annoying.
It's not. It's a tired trope now. Like I'm sure before it was like, oh, that's fun.
It was an excellent novel idea when like Loki. Like when it comes to if we're talking about the MCU, it originally was like Loki, and that was cool. Yeah. But now it's everybody. Every single person is not as bad of a guy as what you think.
Which I get. That's kind of how life is, but it's not. It's a story. Yeah. They're designed for you to not like them.
Correct.
Like, but like Maleficent was got like the whole backstory. Yeah. You know, Cruella Deville is the one that's the wildest to me. It's because her character. It was a movie about dogs, and she wanted to wear their skin. Mm-hmm. And that was the movie. That was her whole personality. She was mean to people, rich, wanted to wear dogs. Yeah. Didn't need to have this whole like, well, if you really look back at it, the Dalmatians scared her one day.
Well, killed her mom or whatever.
All right, did every other animal on planet kill her mom too? She had a closet full of animals.
Yes, she did.
Her whole thing was like, this gets my nipples hard.
Yeah, I
don't know why I made her an old-timey prospector.
I don't know either.
I want your puppies to put on my skin.
But yeah, like she was literally.
You got any gold nuggets?
No. I'm not a yes and guy. But like, yeah.
I'm going to get a.
Oh my God. It was worn out before you started it.
That's fine. Go. You can. I'll be quiet.
I don't believe you.
Why not?
Because it's you. I'm going to sit here in silence. I'm going to force these people to watch.
What is this, your sex life?
So Cruella...
Yeah, there it is. Couldn't even get it out. Blue jeans. All right, I'm done.
Yep, back to something important. Her whole thing, it wasn't only wearing dog skin. It was 101 Dalmatian puppies. She was like, I don't want 2 adults. I want 100 children.
Yeah, it's the veal of clothes.
Yeah, but and that movie was garbage because like so many people were shitting on it off the top. Just
sure.
Immediate. And I was like, okay, I'm going to watch it because anything that has polarized one way or the other, I'm going to watch it. I could have no interest in it and I'm still going to see it. It was honestly just atrociously bad. Yeah. It was so the scene that's supposed to be like the traumatic scene that made her evil was laughable.
Yeah, absolutely. Did they put the Benny Hill?
It might as well have. Like the whole scene plays out of the Dalmatians of these rich people's house were the guard dogs.
Hey, I like that rich people are still the enemy.
Right. But well, I mean, Cruella Deville becomes rich, so it follows the trend. Well, but chases her mom down to the edge of a cliff, and then jumps at her and then scares her to fall down the rocky ledge and die. Okay. So her whole vendetta against Dalmatians is being responsible for her mom's death.
But that doesn't explain all of the other animals.
Correct.
That she has killed and skinned, or the fact that she could have bought other dogs quietly like a real good rich person would
and killed them in her own home.
Yeah.
Well, she was trying to turn it into a business. Do you not remember that?
No.
Her whole thing was like turning it into a business because the Dalmatian fur was the most comfortable fur and stuff like that. Like it was real odd. But that movie was garbage.
Oh, are you talking about? I was talking about the old one. I haven't seen the new one.
I'm talking about the old one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I hate how they picked a literally a cartoon villain.
Yeah, and you can't justify killing dogs.
Yeah. But
you can't do it.
they did. But here's the crazy thing: is they did a good job, and they're getting better and better at this, where you justify the actions of a horrible person just because they're attractive.
Oh, okay, for sure.
Homelander
for sure.
is a great example. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Soldier Boy is another one in The Boys.
Soldier Boy for sure.
Yeah, people are like, he's so handsome, he's so cool. Like, he's a monster.
He's a monster.
He's a bad person.
Yeah.
He killed JFK.
Yeah.
Like, everyone just cruises over that because like, he's got a
Allegedly.
dreamy that when he was there.
Yeah. Convenient. Grassy knoll.
Grassy knoll, baby.
But back into the left.
Speaking of grassy knolls, where are you going to be shooting out from the left of?
Right now it's August 1st in Avon, Comedy on the Lawn. And that's really the most important thing I got going on right now. How about you?
I need you to get more dates so I can load mine. Okay. All right.
I'm gonna go outside and tell some jokes.
Heck yeah. All right. I'm going to be at a place that I can't technically tell you about. They say don't tell you about it. Don'tTellComedy.com
Oh, okay.
is a good place to look. On the 24th in Indianapolis area.
Okay.
Super fun show. I can't tell you about it. Anything more than that, I think I might already be in trouble. And then on the 29th, I'll be at Flicks Brew House with Matt Alano Martin. And then I'll be in Saginaw, Michigan on October 1st. And then my birthday's at the end of next October. So, yeah.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Yeah. Hey, where can we find you on the internet, Tyler?
You can find me at Tyler Waltz Comedy.
You can find me at Tyson Cox Comedy. Email us at thenerdnewschannel@gmail.com.
Yep. Soon to be something different.
Soon to be something different. Working on stuff. Always doing stuff. But reach out. Talk to us. Let us know what you want us to talk about. We love comments. We love reading your stuff. You guys are some really funny people, some really nice people. So I appreciate it. I want to give a shout out to Ryan Reno out there listening to us. So big shout out to you, buddy. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks.
And other than that, you ready to get out of here? See you guys next week?
Yeah, see you guys next week.
Yeah, listen to Defense Mechanism. Bye.
Bye.